Hello, people. Hello, people.
What's
It's
up?
Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what time it is? It is Chaotic Conversation time. And the usual crew is in the house. Mavs, Mama Bear, Mr. Anzo, and Chris Knight. How y'all doing, fellas and
Good,
ladies?
good, good.
Doing good.
Doing good.
Um, tonight's topic is going to be something that's going to be near and dear to my heart, and I'm very, very, very intrigued on how this is going to happen. I took out animation for one reason, because I know Mark Hamill probably would be king, and I like the Mark Hamill Joker, but I like other Jokers better. And that's kind of sounding sacrilegious, but Mark Hamill is awesome. I would love to see him in a live action Joker. I bet you he would be freaking fantastic. So I hope that if they do bring back this Batman from the Zack Snyder cut, and they do a Batman solo movie, they should seriously be talking to Mark Hamill about being the Joker. So
Well, did you guys hear?
Butts in the seat.
Yeah, did you hear that they're bringing back Michael Keaton?
Yes.
I'm like, oh, wow.
Oh, I just
that.
seen that today. Yeah,
The old Batman?
Yeah,
the old Batman.
They have signed. Now, this is not confirmed yet. I don't think. I think it's just heavy rumor right now that they have signed Michael Keaton to star as Batman in The Flash and at least 2 other DC movies. And if they do that, I don't know. I mean, I could see a plus side to that, but he's mixing it with Flash universe, unless they're going to do what we all think. I think we all hope they do, which is Flashpoint.
Flashpoint.
If they do
Batman Beyond, I would go for it. But
well, and that's the thing. I wonder if they're not planning on doing that too right now, because we know that the
confirmation from Warner Brothers.
What was that?
I'm waiting on.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
waiting on confirmation from Warner Brothers.
Definitely. But the new one, the Batman, they've already announced, I think, 6 villains. So I think we're thinking it's either going to be the Long Halloween or Year One, something like that. So they do that, and then they somewhere down the line are going to maybe do like a Batman Beyond. You do a Flashpoint with the Flash movie. They might have something here. I'm not for certain about it because I'm not a big believer
right
in
now,
DC people.
Right now, the crisis may have been DC's salvation, because giving them time to think about and kick ideas around and say, what if we do this? What if we do that? And if they're gonna do this, if Zack Snyder's cut is awesome, and that's gonna be a catalyst, I think, for DC saying, okay, we can do it. We got to put right people in the right places. Yeah. So I hope it, because at the end of the day, I'm not a DC fanboy or a Marvel fanboy or a Fox fanboy or a Sony fanboy. I am a comic book movie fanboy, and I hope all of them are good.
Yeah.
But I saw something in the chat here, and I want to give a moment of silence. You're going to give 15 seconds moment of silence for Dave Schumacher. I was told that Joel Schumacher. I was told that he passed today. So let's give him 15 seconds silence.
Just wanted to bring that up.
Okay, thank you. That's gonna be a topic of discussion, I think, for the next chat I'm on, if I'm not mistaken. But tonight we're going to talk about the top 5 villains of Batman, but they can only be from live action TV shows, which would consist to me of Gotham and the old Batman 1966, or live action movies, which consists of the Batman trilogy up to Batman Dark Knight trilogies. Somebody got something on in the background. I can't tell who it is.
What do you hear? Humming?
It's really loud.
That might be my air conditioner.
Okay, that's okay. Just want to know what it was.
Hold on, I'll turn it off. Tell me if that's what you hear.
No, don't turn it off if it's hot. That's what it is. It's good. It's good. It's not disturbing. I just want to know what it was.
I had some air going too.
It's fine. Do not sit in a hot and I know I wouldn't do it. But I am going to let Terrence go first because I'm curious to see what his 5 are.
What was that?
So I'm gonna let you go first, Terrence. I want to see what your 5 are, and we're gonna go from your number 5 to your number 1 villain in the Batman series.
So where's the best?
You're gonna go from your worst one or the worst out of the 5 to the best one. So from your number 5 villain to your number 1 villain.
Yeah, so this is live action shows and movies,
Live
correct?
action shows and movies, yes, sir.
All right. Number 5 is Ra's al Ghul from Batman Begins. Um, yeah, I like that interpretation because it was all the lessons that he was teaching Bruce Wayne during his training, establishing the discipline, and then the most important thing that he taught him about the willpower, the will to act. And you had that scene where Bruce Wayne said, "Oh, my father had training," and he's like, "The training is nothing. The will is everything." And I love that he was molding him and manipulating him at the same time. Like that takes a certain kind of villain to be able to help while also manipulating. So that way that person doesn't understand the full extent of your intentions. And, when it does come to situations in general, like extreme situations, uh, most humans are cowards. They talk a lot, but they wouldn't really do anything when it comes to these situations. But the exceptional individuals will do certain things. They will act. They will hurt. They will do whatever. Hence a Bruce Wayne. So when you get to the end of the movie, when Batman has to confront Ra's al Ghul, it's just sort of like a mind fuck thing. Like, wait a minute, why are you doing this? I thought we were on the same side. He's like, nah, Bruce. It's like I told you before, Gotham is full of trash, and I got to handle that. And, I know I turned you into something, but since you want to really be full hero and step on my plans, I'm afraid I have to fuck your shit up too.
Well,
So
I think Ra's al Ghul, the cool thing about that is that they're both the same guy, but they're two different mindsets of the same thing. One will do anything because he believes that the problem is that there's nothing left that's good. Bruce or Batman believes that he'll do anything, but he won't go that extra step because he knows that he believes there still is good. So it's just that slight tweak between the two. What movie was it? I can't remember if it was Batman '89 where they say, "Hey, we're the same guy." Oh yeah, it's Batman '89 where Joker says, "We're the same guy." Hey, if you made me, if I made you, you made me, and he's basically saying we're the same thing. But
Batman was trying to have that conversation, but to me, you're not the same thing when you have a person that wants to save everyone versus a person that wants to kill everyone in the city. That's not the same thing.
But their reasoning is almost the same, though.
No, I don't think so. It's like it had a starting point for the basis of the training, but from there it went off into completely different ideals of what one would perceive to be heroism. So no, definitely not.
One is more of
I caught these ones.
One's more of a definite vigilante. I would say that Ra's al Ghul was definitely a true vigilante who will do anything to get to the conclusion they wish. Batman, like whenever he says in Batman Begins, he's like, well, who's going to doesn't this guy get a day in court, basically, when they're talking about the farmer?
Batman is a vigilante. Ra's al Ghul is evil. Anytime that you want to destroy an entire city of people and you feel that no one is deserving of redemption, you're a fucking evil asshole, period.
Even vigilantes can get that far. It's just, I think Batman just has rules about it. So I'm not sure.
Well, but Batman is a legit superhero, though. Yeah, that is the big difference. Yeah. Ra's al Ghul believes in if you're not like him, if you're not part of the League, you're an enemy. You must be destroyed.
Yes.
Evil.
Yes.
Period. So I just like the duality of the
Yeah.
characters and how one person thought that he was being trained by a person that had good intentions when he found out, oh shit, like this is like the worst kind of person that I picked.
Well, he didn't even know it first until they're burning his place.
Exactly.
I mean,
That's why I said
that is a mind fuck.
that's exactly why I said it's a
I know.
mind fuck.
I know.
You're under a false impression.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I think, that's why to me he was a good villain for that reason, when you can fool someone into thinking that you're something that you're not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then number 4. Where was
I
that?
say it's played by Liam Neeson, so you can't go no wrong with that, right?
No, he's
Exactly. Yeah, his presence in the way that in the way that he speaks, it's almost like you don't want to argue with him. You want to believe that what he's saying is true, which plays to his performance and why he was so good as the character. Because Ra's al Ghul is the ultimate manipulator. I mean, he has an entire organization full of the most disciplined people on the planet. You can't do that if you're some basic ass person. It's impossible.
Yeah.
So that was my number 5. And then number 4 is Bane from The Dark Knight Rises.
Nice.
Man, I like it was just from the jump of the movie, from the plane scene, and I like when a person takes away the power that you think you have, like the people in the plane. Him understanding that, okay, if you're gonna throw someone out of a plane, you don't need to shoot them first. Like, who the fuck you think you're talking to, trying to intimidate me? Now let me show you what real power is by me killing you, and then letting you know that you were dumb as fuck to fall into my plans. So you have no power, you have no intelligence. So that was just right off the jump, and I'm like, okay, this dude is physically powerful, and he is extremely intelligent. And then it was that way throughout the whole movie. Now, when you get to the end, you find out that he was exacting Talia's plans, but the reason why she chose him is because he was mentally and physically capable, while understanding that Bane himself wanted to fulfill Ra's al Ghul's destiny, which he was adamant about, and he was able to physically destroy Batman, like in a definitive ass whooping. I love that. Like, it was just a one-sided, my favorite superhero got his ass whooped. And there was no music. It was just blows landing. So I was like, cool. You've managed to beat the hero. You've managed to also break him mentally. And you tossed him in a hole and let him know, I'm going to let these humans destroy your precious Gotham City. Because these humans, believe it or not, Mr. Wayne, they are trash. And I'm going to show you why Ra's al Ghul was right before you decide to kill him. So here you go. I already whooped your ass. I'm just going to move on. So the fact that he was that comfortable after leaving him, like, yeah, he ain't going to be a problem. Fuck him. And then, ultimately when he did return and he tried to fight him again, we saw how that went. But just his making of blowing up the football stadium, cutting off the bridges to where the humans can't escape and they can't have their precious military come in and save them, which they like to rely on the police, like any sort of human authority figures, to get them out of tough situations. But can't do that shit because Bane cut that off. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, he is really checking all the boxes of any levels of security and comfort. And I fucking love that shit because it was just very on point.
And not to mention, he break into Batman's cave and use his own devices and tools to do it.
Exactly. Like that, when he was like, your precious armory, gratefully accepted. We will need it. I was like, yo, he's doing all this stuff. He has like the coolest lines. And I love that scene where I think the dude's name is Daggett. It was like that dude, he had a lot of money and he was helping fund Bane, but he didn't realize what he was getting into. And he thought that his money and resources gave him the right to walk up in Bane's face and disrespect him. And I just like how Bane let him do that, he let him talk and then gently placed his hand on his shoulder like, you bitch ass motherfucker, you think this gives you power over me because you have money? And he just snapped his neck. I was like, that shit was dope. It was awesome. So yeah. So yeah, that's my number 4. Number 3, I had to go with Heath Ledger's Joker. You know, there's something precious about someone that is insane that has fun at the same time, and you understand that this person is evil, unpredictable, psychotic, all that good stuff. But all the while, you completely take over the criminal organization. You let them know, hey, I found you in your little hideout, and I want in, and you're gonna follow my plans. Because if you don't, then I'll just kill all of you. I'm the guy that walks into the room and I have a bunch of grenades strapped to me because I'm like, well, no matter how tough you think you are, I'm pretty sure you don't want to die, right? So fucking test me. Like, it's just shit like that, and smashing people's heads in with the pencil and all that.
That's an awesome scene. Ta-da!
Yeah. Even those guys, they were uncomfortable. They were angry. I'm like, that's the brilliance of this villain, that he can do that to them, you know? So I like that. And then any scene where he was talking to Batman, he was educating him like, these humans are going to turn on each other at the first sign of trouble. And they're also going to turn on you because that's what humans do, right? They prop you up. You don't do something they like, even though they're not doing shit themselves. They just criticize, but they're going to fucking turn on you. You're only as important and as big as they make you, which turned out that at the end of the movie, they absolutely turned on him. Like the whole fucking city. They were like, fuck Batman. Nobody cared nothing about nothing, or let's investigate. They was like, nope, this is the narrative that they pushed out there. So we're going to go along with it, which is what humans do. So
was the Dark Knight? Was that the one where Michael Caine talks about sometime, why they burn down the jungle?
Yeah.
I love that. I love that line because he's like, you know what? Sometimes people just want to watch things burn.
Watch the world burn.
Exactly.
And dude, that is very much the Joker in that movie. I don't care. People think I have an agenda. People think I have a plan. No, I don't. I'm just here to watch things.
What happened?
But also in the cell when Batman was whipping his ass, he was like laughing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Your power, your strength, that ain't gonna do nothing. You ain't gonna break me.
Right. But he did have one consistent plan, which was to prove that humanity was trash. Everything else around it was erratic. So it was really hard for Batman and others to try to figure out his point. But he kept bringing it up as a constant, just the way that the criminals turned on each other. And then you had that boat scene where you had all the good humans, and then you had all the convicts on the other boat. And those disgusting humans, the good ones on the other boat, was like, oh, blow them up. They had their chance and blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
that's a good scene where the prisoner comes up and takes it and throws it out the window.
Right. Right. And I love that because it was like, wow. So the scum is better than the ones that posture is being the good shit. That's very true.
I think that prisoner at that moment throws it because he's like, you know what? We've been
Johnny Lister, man. That was he got paid to do that.
We've been sentenced to this anyways. So whatever happens, I don't know. I mean, but it's
he was a good person regardless of the fact that he was a prisoner. And the humans that are good, they normally feel entitled. They have money, they have religion, whatever it is that they want to harp on. But when you see them in situations, whether it be out in the open or behind closed doors, they're some of the biggest fucking hypocrites on the planet. So, which is what Joker was trying to tell Batman and everybody else. But then, of course, when neither side blew up the boat, Joker was a little bit disappointed. But it's like, even though that didn't happen, he wasn't entirely wrong because he wasn't on the boat to hear all the back and forth and how close they were to offing each other. It was like an inch away. You know what I'm saying? So, but I just like that. The fact that he was smart. He literally set a pile of money on fire. How many humans would do that? Nobody, because humans love money. Oh, money! Oh, it's so precious.
They made it very clear also that, for instance, they couldn't find out, where his clothes were manufactured because they said, oh well, they were handmade or something. Can't remember. They made everything they made the comment on. Just said it was really hard to pinpoint him because he didn't go by the normal standards of the criminals that they were used to.
You cannot, like, those criminals were normal in the sense of them being typical how they think. Regular ass fucking humans cannot understand someone that is different. It is impossible. The only thing that they could do maybe is go off of something in some kind of book or some shit they read online, which doesn't work all the time, by the way. So yeah. So the best thing you could do is lock him up or whoop his ass or something, because if there's any gap in between there, people are dying, people are suffering, et cetera, blowing up hospitals, all kinds of stuff. And then also, to me, like, his applaud moment that I had in the theater was when he ruined Harvey Dent, which was awesome. And what was her name? Rachel or some shit? Like, yeah, like, she got wrecked. Harvey's face got fucked up, and he proved it. Like, I see something in this man. The humans think he's good, but I bet you if I fuck his face up and put him in a situation to where he has to watch someone he loves dies, I bet you the worst side of this motherfucker is going to come out. And he was right about that. He snapped. Couldn't handle it. Oh, no. My life is ruined. Oh, no. So I love that. So that's why he's my number 3. Okay. Number 2, I had to go with Penguin from Batman Returns.
Woo.
So this dude, like, I just love the setup to his character. Like, his parents were just like, damn, this motherfucker's ugly. Let's toss his ass in a sewer. I was like, oh shit. Well, as a kid, I was like, how you do that to your child? Because I was used to hearing stuff like, you have a face only a mother can love and all that other bullshit that's not true. I was like, I guess that didn't apply to Mr. Penguin there. So he's in the sewer. He's in the sewer. And then I guess he meets different clowns and people down there. And they're like, yeah, we going to look after him. So he made a family. They embraced him.
He did eat the cat when he was a baby.
That's true.
Doesn't matter. Like,
I
mean, to me, according to a lot of the bullshit sayings that humans like to come up with, you get your child help. You try to understand your child. You don't fucking toss them in a sewer.
Nope. Cat eater. If a child eats cats,
I'm not. I wouldn't do that to my kid. If anything, like, number one, I'd be surprised and I'd be like, what is this about? I would want to understand. My first thought's not going to be, well, there is a sewer around the corner, honey.
Off to the sewer with you, kid.
Exactly. No chance or nothing. It's just like off to the fucking depths of the sewer you go. So, yeah. So I was on his side. He grew up, and then he was like, I got a brilliant idea. What I can do is I can win over the scum of Gotham and have them think that I'm a good person, and when the time is right, I'm gonna blow up all these motherfuckers with my Penguin family. I was just like, Oswald, I like you. I like how you think, because it takes a certain kind of person to win people over, and then when they let that guard down, because you know it's coming, boom, dead as fuck. Like to me,
and
like. I latched on to him, and plus, he low-key had a cool personality. He was seem like a dude where you could talk to him, like he was willing to listen to you, and then
fuck your
I
shit
guess
up.
if you sounded dumb or something, then he'd be like, nah, I gotta kill you. But I like how he was willing to listen to Catwoman, He even listened to Batman for a few moments before he's like, nah, that shit don't sound good to me. You gotta die. So, and then also his death scene, I'm not gonna lie, as a kid, like, I felt sad as fuck. Like, the adults was like, no, you can't feel sad for him. He's the villain. I was like,
No, that's bull. I think
yeah,
it's okay to
I
feel
know
bad
it's
for
bull.
villains.
See, I was the kid to where adults, when they said stuff to me, it always sounded programmed and like they got it from somebody else. So I always question it because it just seemed to be so fucking generic. I'm like, are you sure? I'm like, this dude had an unfortunate life and just this shit didn't work out. And then he ends up dying. And it was fucked up. Then the penguins put him in the water and stuff. And I was like, oh, that is sad.
And the thing about that is that, well, yeah, okay, he's evil. It's obvious. But can you blame him? Because, like you said, he was thrown in a freaking sewer by his parents. He was not loved from the get-go. What do you expect somebody to do? He only wants to control his own life, and by doing so, he's come up with this plan. He is a product of other people's issues,
other people's mistakes.
Exactly.
The good humans. And I still remember that shit my mom told me. Well, you shouldn't feel sorry for him because he was killing people and he wanted to kill everybody. I'm like, so you just disregarded this whole dude's life because of what he did recently? I'm like, it just didn't sound right to me. I did one ear and out the other. Mother not making sense. Adults not making sense. They're on some bullshit. So no. But because of all that, his disposition and him trying to execute some crazy ass shit while manipulating everyone in Gotham, I'm like, that's a good ass villain right there. I'm like, even if you don't succeed, your plans are so grand that I got to give you props. I just have to.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my number two.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, I feel like you can interchange this with so many characters, but who popped up in my head was Jerome from Gotham. So Jerome, man, I think he was one of the few characters on Gotham that, number one, constantly made me laugh. He was always so entertaining. I always wanted to hear what he said. I always wanted to see what he was going to do. He just fascinated me in every possible way. Also, when you can just kill dozens of police officers in the way that he did, and they were always like, we going to get Jerome. Yeah, GCPD. Yeah. I was like, I would be comforted by that if you guys weren't so incompetent. I mean, sure, you got Jim Gordon and Harvey Bullock, but they can't be everywhere at once. And the rest of the cops were either just incompetent or they were corrupt. So in a way, if you think about it, like, some of them probably deserve to die, that they probably got other people killed. But anyway, so he definitely killed dozens of police officers. He kidnapped Bruce Wayne. He did everything that a villain is supposed to do to achieve greatness. And then I also understood that he wasn't full-blown Joker yet. He was just starting out. And I was like, man, for somebody that's just starting, you have done a lot. In fact, you have done more than 99.9% of the villains on Gotham by yourself. By yourself. No team. You didn't have Don Falcone pulling the strings. You just walked up and went, dead. I'm going to appear on TV and demand things.
Meanie, miny, dead.
Yeah, exactly. and then my boy Jerome, like, I don't know what it is though. Like, I know a lot of humans, they care about their looks and shit. When my boy lost his face, he was like, fuck, my face is gone. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to staple that shit back on. I was like, man, Jerome, like, any time where I was like, he might be vulnerable. Nope. He might. Nope. It was none of that. And any time he got upset, then that's when he really got terrifying, because he was normally laughing and smiling and shit. But there were a couple times where Bruce Wayne had a couple tongue-in-cheek things to say to my boy, and Jerome was just like, this clever motherfucker. Like, so I noticed that I would cheer, and when I saw him get really mad, I was like, oh shit, what's going on? I see what he does when he's like happy. So what is he gonna do when he's mad? And I noticed that when he's mad, he kills someone in a much more brutal fashion. Like there's like passion when he like slits their throats and shoot them and shit. Like the way that he stabs them and pulls the trigger and stuff. I'm like, I'd be paying attention to stuff like that, because to others they just like killing's killing. It's all the same. I'm like, no, that's a very generic fucking thought pattern, but okay. So Jerome, to me, he was very savage, brutal, and sinister, while still understanding that no matter what you do in life, you gotta have some fun. Because if you ain't having fun while you're doing it, right? There you go. There's my list.
Cool.
His laugh was beautiful too.
Yes.
I know you got time restraints, Chris. I'm gonna let you go next.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So basically, it's going to be a repeat of Terrence's in a sense. Not exactly though. We're going to go Bane, Dark Knight Rises first. I like the character, but he's not the villain. So he's a henchman. At the end of it all, he's basically a henchman. He's just the muscle. But what's funny is that he could have been the villain. They could have taken Ra's al Ghul's daughter out completely and made him the one that climbed out, and it's still the whole movie would have worked. So,
Chris, let me ask you this real quick.
mm-hmm,
While my boy Bane was a henchman, right?
mm-hmm,
Which is technically true.
mm-hmm.
What the fuck did Talia do
Nothing.
except
Pull
sit
straight.
at a desk and give somebody orders?
Nothing. I understand that. But I think what we're missing the point of is that this plan was hatched in some way, shape, or form by her off screen. Now, I don't know that. That's a speculating on my part. I understand.
True, but technically, wasn't it like more so her father's plan that she just
That's true.
followed through
She's
with?
trying to finish her father's plan, but it's still that's my point is that they could have taken her out, and I would have enjoyed that movie, and I probably would have put him higher, because then it's insane, because he is a smart dude in that movie. I love the way they portray Bane in that movie. It is so much better than just the poison shit running through his veins and stuff. It was so
One
much
from Batman and Robin.
Yeah, not just that. I mean, yeah, but I mean, and that was the first movie or live action that we got of Bane, and it was like that was horrible. And then this Bane was really great. But I mean, it's difference of opinion, Terrence. Not wrong with the things you said about it. He's freaking, like you said, Batman's probably my favorite, comic book character, superhero also. And yeah, he destroys them. No, not even.
When the henchman is better than the boss, Chris, though, like that's all I'm saying.
I understand. But we're gonna put him at number 5. Number 4 is gonna be Ra's al Ghul. Why? Because of what I said about the Dark Knight Rises, and what you basically said. It was his plan. This was just a continuation. So anybody who, as far as that universe goes, we're pretty sure he's dead the way he dies and the way it happens in the first one. Anybody who has instilled that vision to so many other people. I mean, because remember, he worked with Scarecrow, Dr. Crane, and Dr. Crane's even in the second one, still trying to cause this havoc. So it's like anybody that instills something that people really are attached to, that is still happening throughout this series. That's a lot of that takes a lot. That means you have a lot going for you, that you can control people with that vision, daughter or not. But I think that Liam Neeson, he was the absolute right choice for that. And like you said, Terrence, the way he talks, it's not rage. It's never rage. It's sensibility. He sounds chaos. Yeah, it's controlled, but inside he's fuming because
right.
There, what?
No, I said right.
Yeah, and inside during that last scene where they're on the train, he is fuming. He's like, "You're not going to get in my way. You've messed with this once before. You should have left me dead. If you had listened to what I told you, if you had followed what I told you, you would have left me." But what Batman's problem was in that movie was that he thought that this guy wasn't Ra's al Ghul. He thought that this guy was somehow he was worth saving. And I think that was the parting gift of Ra's al Ghul in that movie, is to teach Batman not all people are worth saving.
And it's not always good to be a hero either, exactly, with all the little lines that they won't cross.
Yeah, which is really great. Number 3, Joker, but I cannot pick between the two, so I won't. Dark Knight and Batman 89. They're different looks at it. I will say this about Heath Ledger. I like the way that Joker is in the movie much better than Nicholson's use. But that's a writing thing. That's not the performance thing. I liked their performances both. But the character that they show somewhere in the middle of that, I think, is the correct Joker.
So, which one did you find to be more intimidating, Chris?
More intimidating? Oh, well, Heath Ledger's for sure. Oh, dude, Heath Ledger plays a much better you will not figure me out. There's nothing that you can do to figure me out. You think, the second you think you got me figured. For instance, the best part about that movie is where when he gets caught, they think, oh, we did it. They're all, slapping each other on the back. Yeah, we did it. We got the guy. And yet, that's what he wanted. He wanted that so he could let them know what he was up to. While you were here, and I'm here with you, my people are over here taking your golden boy and your girlfriend, or your wannabe girlfriend, and,
right.
And you don't understand. I wanted this. Why? Because I want to see your reaction. And so when Batman's sitting there beating him in, he's laughing about it because he's like, go keep doing it. You're wasting your time, not mine.
Now you're gonna go say that precious Rachel, are you?
Exactly. And it's so yes, the concept of that Joker is much better than Batman 89. But I like both of their performances. And I am at a point in my life with this that I will not pick between the two because I love Nicholson, and being the first live action movie portrayal of that, it's great. And there are moments when he's very intimidating. But I mean, it's not. I mean, what I'll say about this is Cesar Romero. He takes a lot from Cesar Romero in '89. The whole scene in the art gallery, that's a scene that actually happened in the 60s Batman series.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff that was taken from the 60s era that they just gritted up.
Yeah, right. That costume was more from that area too.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
But I liked it because it was more adult than Cesar Romero's. And it was more serious than Cesar Romero, and definitely more intimidating than Cesar Romero's.
I just wanted to ask you that because, that word is something that a lot of individuals understand. For me, I don't get intimidated. What I do is I assess the threat level of a person. That's it.
And that's the thing. I don't know. I'm going on an overall thought process of who would you be more intimidated by. Most people are going to say Heath Ledger's. I'm not sure if I'd be intimidated by him because the chaos side of it, I guess reacting to his chaos is what he wants.
You'd have to see it. Like if he did that pencil trick and then he did that thing how he
crazy crap.
Michael White.
I love that pencil part.
Yeah,
I just don't like the fact that he did it to Michael Jai White. You know what I mean?
That's true.
I was just like, he wouldn't do no moves in that.
Jai White with a knife.
Huh?
Yeah. Michael Jai White.
Michael Jai, yeah, right.
Let's make a smile.
Okay. Number 2, much like Terrence, but different. The Penguin, but not Batman Returns Penguin. Gotham's Penguin.
Gotham's Penguin, yeah, okay.
I liked the way that they set his character up. I don't mind Batman Returns. I just don't know how. I don't know. They're both similar characters. They're both always when Penguin and Gotham is basically just a errand boy at the beginning of it all. And at some point he gets pissed off and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna take.
Yeah, you're right.
When they kill his mom.
Yeah.
You're right. That Penguin was very good. There was only one thing that I didn't like about him, which is whenever
made him gay.
No. That's not like. I mean, I'm trying to set the Riddler dick. Like I don't. But and the one thing that I don't like that his character constantly did was like when he was backed into a corner, he acted like a bitch and he was begging for his life.
Okay, so here's the thing. I equate that to the rope-a-dope.
Yep, I do too.
He knows that if he fights right then, or
get his ass whipped.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that Muhammad Ali would have gotten his butt whooped doing the rope-a-dope, but the rope-a-dope.
Let me tell you something. You can be aware that a person can damage you, but how you present yourself is an emotional thing that has nothing to do with the fake out. He was legitimately fucking scared at those moments.
I think he knew how to play that because he'd done it so much. I'm not sure. I mean, you could be right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I always equated it to more of a rope-a-dope. Let me get out of this situation right here, so I can move to the next thing.
Did you see how he was always like around Falcone and Fish Mooney would be the perfect example. This dude, for the longest time, he had no confidence at all.
Yeah, but that's what was great about his character. As he went on, he developed things like that, and he used the things people expected him to do. That bitch ass mentality. That
you are absolutely right. At first, he was legitimately a bitch, and then he used that as a distraction.
And that's what I'm saying. I saw it more as a rope-a-dope, not from the very get-go. From the very get-go, yeah, he was a. But that's why
once he became kingpin, that was part of his defense mechanism to try to throw you off. And then as soon as he get the upper hand, he putting a bullet in you.
Yeah. You see, if they had handled it right, they would have realized his threat, which that's the thing. He didn't seem threatening. In fact, throughout most of the series, nobody really took him as a complete threat.
Don Falcone didn't take him as a threat, but he also didn't underestimate him. See, Don Falcone was smart. He knew from coming up in the streets of Gotham and working his way to success that you shouldn't underestimate anyone. In fact, he taught Oswald that throughout multiple episodes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, number one, I gotta go with Terrence Jerome. The only thing I just wish they would have done is get him to be the Joker. But I'm hopeful. Why are you so? Look at you, Danny. What's your problem, man? What?
I don't have to like what you say. I just gotta listen to what you say.
I know that. But like you would say, it's like
I am listening. I just don't think he's better than Ledger.
You what?
That is just. I don't think he's better than Ledger.
Okay, well
he's not. He's not at all.
Exactly.
He's not at all.
He's not. But here's the other thing. He's not the Joker.
But he's number one on your list.
He's not.
Okay, but okay. When I put together a list, it's a list, but they can be interchanged. That's why I say that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing though about Jerome. It gives us so of all the origin stories we've gotten I'm sorry, let me correct my English here. Of all the origin stories we have got of the Joker, Jerome is one, the most intriguing, and two, the most believable within the Batman universe. I think, because the only two problems I have is one, they didn't complete that journey, which I'm okay if they ever want to maybe dig back into that, get the guy back and do a Joker series. to fully develop that character. I'd love to see that. But the other thing is that the Joker was always, I thought, a little older, like a little older than what the difference between Bruce Wayne and Jerome are in the show. I always thought he was a little older than that. So the age difference, but that's not enough to, I mean, I just love the origin. And yeah, like you said, Terrence, I mean, geez, the guy's legitimately crazy. And in the same way almost that Ledger is. That you think you know what I'm gonna do. And with the Lazarus pit and all that, the ability to bring him back multiple times was definitely interesting. And each time I think he got a little more whacked out because he was like, holy crap, how am I back here? In his brain, I think he kept on thinking, wait a minute, I thought this was over. I can come back and do it again. Well, hell, let's just do it. So that's my thought.
Where did Mans go?
She had to go get her daughter, remember?
Yeah, she popped out. She said she'll
I
be back.
have to jump off, but as soon as you get in my car, I'll jump on the phone and I'll be right back, okay?
Cool.
All right, I'll be right back, guys.
All
So I guess I'm next by default, eh?
You're next, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. So, just to be known, like I've only watched maybe the first season of Gotham, so I left Gotham out. So I'm only doing the movies. My number 5 is Jim Carrey as the Riddler. You know, I hated that movie, but Jim Carrey was. Why are you shaking your head, bro? Jim Carrey, you can't tell me Jim Carrey wasn't good as the Riddler in that movie. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to the Riddler, that's who I've always seen playing the Riddler. So I'm definitely using him as my number 5. I like Jim Carrey as the Riddler.
Anzo, to your point, a lot of humans didn't catch this, but Jim Carrey actually channeled Frank Gerson's Riddler from the 60s Batman show.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. Like, even before, like, they were talking, like, when they were talking about the Riddler and casting it, I was always saying Jim Carrey. He would be perfect in that role, you know? And he was fire at the time. Like, he wasn't doing no wrong. Ace Ventura, the two of them, The Mask, you know? So he was on a roll at the time. So he was a good casting for the Riddler for me. Number 4, I'm going to go with Ra's al Ghul from Batman Begins. Now, personally, and I know you guys ain't going to like this, but I didn't like Batman Begins. All right. I didn't like it, but I did like Ra's al Ghul in it. Like, I like Liam Neeson as the actor. So he did a very good job. Like, he portrayed him perfectly in that movie. The movie itself, for me, was just a meh. And my problem is Christian Bale. I think his voice ruins it for me. Like, that's my issue. So, yeah, other than that, he'd probably be higher if I felt the movie was good. Number 3, and I'm surprised no one has said it yet, but I'm going with Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer, because, it's Catwoman. What? You laughing at my list, bro? What the hell is wrong with you?
Nothing.
You don't like Catwoman?
Look on the Stigs, where he got Catwoman at.
He got Catwoman number 1. See, Stig, good man, right? Like, how can you not? First off, to me, she was the best portrayal of Catwoman out of all of them. You know, we don't talk about the Halle Berry one, but her in that cat suit, you know, her acting, the way she was talking and stuff, I found it was really a good part of the movie. Like, she was perfect as Catwoman. Number 2, I'm going with the Penguin. But I'm going with the Penguin from the movie, like Terrence, not from the TV show.
Come on.
Huh? I don't watch Gotham, right? So I've only seen the first season. So
You need to watch that, bro.
Okay, so real quick.
go ahead.
What was your 5 and your 4?
Oh, 5 was Riddler.
Okay, which one?
Riddler, Jim Carrey.
Okay.
Jim Carrey. 4 was Ra's al Ghul.
Okay.
3 was Catwoman.
Yep, I heard Catwoman.
And number 2 is
from Returns.
From Returns, yes.
Okay, cool.
And to be honest with you, with all this Batman talk, I'm trying to find the thing now to go watch one, right? So Yeah, so Catwoman, I love her in the suit and that scene where she's on the bed and she's licking herself and stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's Catwoman.
Cool.
And number one, gotta go with the Joker, but I'm going with Jack Nicholson's Joker because I think he is the best.
Anzo, I know there's a reason why we have you here, and that's number one for me, man. Thank you. There's a reason I love Nicholson, man.
Me too, man. Like Danny was palming his fist. He's like, yes, and then when I said Jackie, he went down. But I'm sorry, but he was the original, and I think he was the closest portrayal of Joker that we've got from the comics, right? Because he had the jokiness in him, and then he had the, rough, wait till they get a load of me type of thing. You know what I mean?
Just enough.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't too over the top for any part of him playing Joker, So being Batman's number one arch enemy, I think Jack Nicholson played the best in that role as Batman, 100%.
And they kill him.
Joker.
That's what I hate about That's what I hated about, like with Two-Face, with Joker in '89.
Even Batman Returns.
People. They killed the Penguin.
Yeah,
it's like,
but
I can't do that in these movies.
I agree with that. But at the time, right, they weren't making these movies as like connected as they are now, right? So they're like more or less different stories, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, you have Joker, you kill him. But I agree. I don't think they should kill all the villains. Like, they do it too many times, So, but yeah, I agree with you. But other than that, yeah, he's my number one. Like I said, I think he's the best Joker. I like Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger's number two. And some days it could be a toss-up, you know what I mean? Depending on what vibe I'm in. If I'm in the, I want to see a sadistic type of Joker, then I'll watch Heath, But if I want the real type of comic book Joker, then I'm going to go put on Batman 89.
Yeah, another line from 89 that really, I think, embodies that, what you just said, the comic book Joker, is when Batman comes in and he does the thing where he goes across the art gallery with the zip line, and he says, where does he get those wonderful toys?
Exactly.
And that is Joker. He's like, why don't I have that? He's constantly
and then also, remember his frustration too, like when he saw that he had more weapons. He's like, why didn't you tell me he had one of those things?
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me he had one of those things?
Yeah, where he's taking the balloons from him.
Then he just and then he pulled out the biggest gun and shot the fucking bat up.
And it's funny, right? Because when it's happening, he's just standing there. He's like, my balloons.
But this is the proof. Yeah, this is the proof of how Ledger kind of took stuff from him. I mean, Ledger even said he took from Romero, he took from Nicholson, but the part where he's waiting for Batman to hit him on the bike, it's the exact same scene as when Nicholson's standing there with him coming at him in the bat wing, and it's the same scene. He's just sitting there going like, "Come on, do it!" I'm waiting.
I forget the ending too when he had the glasses on. Like, you wouldn't hit a guy with glasses.
Yeah,
dude. That's the Joker that
when he popped in the mouth, he had the gums that fell out and start going on the ground.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, you can't be talking, Danny. You shook your head at my pick, but now you're like, yeah. You see, you're like, no. But yeah,
He's on my list, he ain't number one.
Huh?
He's on my list, but he's not number one.
So would you have put both Jokers on your list separately, or because I was thinking about?
There's two Jokers on my list.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking about doing that too, but I just said, you know what? I'm just going to
think about all three, but I said, no, I can't do that.
I mean, I thought about it, and I'm like Terrence. I hate top fives that they're a little concrete for me because, like Terrence, it just depends, and I think even what Anzo said, just depends on the day. Because if I can it just whatever I'm thinking, there could be something that strikes me better from Batman '89 one day, but the next day I'm like, no, you know what?
Okay.
The Dark Knight.
For the humans listening, for me, it don't depend on no damn day. It ain't no mood or none of that shit. Like, who I like is who I like, and I like them all the time, or I don't like 'em, period.
No, he's talking about how they go on up or down on the
Yeah.
Right.
No,
because
I get Chris. I'm just letting the humans know that are listening in case they're like, oh, maybe Terrence. No, maybe Terrence. No.
No, my like I said, my Joker is always going to be Jack Nicholson, right? But if I'm in the mood to watch like Heath Ledger's Joker, then I'll go watch that one. You know what I mean? Like it depends on my mood. But when I pick the number one Joker, it's always going to be Jack. Always.
Well,
and
that's
respectable too. I got you.
Yeah. For me, if I'm gonna pick, if you're gonna go down a line of Jokers, the live action Jokers for sure, it's Nicholson.
Mm-hmm.
If you add all Jokers together, it's probably Hamill then Nicholson.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
okay, man, are you ready to go?
Yep, I can go.
All right.
Okay, surprisingly enough, Catwoman Michelle Pfeiffer is not on my list.
Boo.
I can't believe it.
Surprisingly enough, yes.
somebody check your temperature.
She was on my list. If you missed
Catwoman on
it,
my list.
if you missed it, she was on my list.
Yeah, I missed it.
Yeah, she
Little
was on
one was
my
getting
list.
dropped back off. But let's see, number 5 for me. I'm going to stick with how I had it originally because I had done some switching around mentally. But no, I'm still going to go with Mad Hatter from Gotham. Loved how he was done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had him as an honorable mention.
Yeah. Honestly, a lot of the ones Terrence mentioned, I went back and forth with. But there was something about that particular Mad Hatter that had a terrifying element for me.
Yeah. All them damn rhymes and shit.
The rhymes didn't bother me, but catch me in the right mood, I can do it myself. But no, there was just some element to him that was just off kilter that made him perfect.
Yeah, they got the right actor.
Oh yeah, he was beautiful for the role. That being said, Bane was a very close. Bane from The Dark Knight Rises was a very close second, or tie for that one. And again, for all of the reasons. I mean, Bane is the ideal Batman villain. He is strong. He is just as smart, and how he was done in that movie was brilliant, and it was a breath of fresh air redemption for that particular character.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, I have been making very much use out of that line from the movie throughout this whole crisis, because you had isolation thrown upon you. I was born from it, molded by it.
Yeah.
I've been doing that to my family the entire time. They're starting to cringe now, but. But number 4, I'm going to go with Scarecrow from Batman Begins.
Yeah.
And I know the whole thing. Yes, Ra's al Ghul was the one. Ra's al Ghul was the one behind it all.
Mm-hmm.
But they're the ones that did it.
I like the way he was portrayed. I was worried when I heard they were going to use him as a villain because that is a villain that can so easily be misdone or wrongly done. And they did a really good job. I mean, I like the way that the animated series showed the Scarecrow, but I do like the real world feel of giving him, like an ability to be the psychologist and all of that. It was very well done.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he was a psychologist is what made him that little bit more scary for me. It's the fact he knew how to get inside your mind and how to manipulate that. Number 3, I'm going to go across the board with most of you guys here. I'm going to go with the Heath Ledger Joker. because as opposed to everybody else, I could actually see the plan he had. I know they said over and over in the movie he doesn't have a plan. No, I can see the whole thing right from the very beginning of the movie right through. And maybe that's my warped brain or whatever, but I can follow it. He manipulated the thing all the way along, right from the bank robbery. You know, he got it. Yes, he got himself put into prison so he could get access to the money guy. He did this all just so he could break down, become the dominant figure in Gotham, become the clown king prince of crime. You know, and yes, the whole Harvey thing that wasn't an accident either. That wasn't just some random chaos thing. Even the choice of address that was chosen. And yeah, he clearly handpicked Harvey because of his known reputation for being two-faced. The whole thing, I can watch it, and I can watch it with that watching the flow of how he's manipulating it all. And for me, that's the more scary aspect of it. That's why for me he's the scarier of the two Jokers between him and Jack. Jack for me was more chaos. I can see the chaotic thinking with the Heath Ledger Joker, and that's why he will be the scarier one for me.
I agree.
Yeah. Number 2. I'm going to go with a Gotham character again. You guys know I love the show. The villains, how they did the villains were absolutely brilliant. And for me, I'm sure if you can already guess this one, it's the Riddler. They did him, the guy who plays him did it beautifully. How they wrote the character was absolutely brilliant. And especially when you had that scene where he had Butch and I think it was Kitty, whatever her name was. And it was a total Saw moment. And that's something I had spent a long time waiting to see. See Riddler in that truly terrifying real world situation that we hadn't really gotten to see. And that was a very Jigsaw moment. And I loved that. That was so beautiful. It's beautiful. It's terrifying. There's not so much I can go on and on about. But for me, my number one villain, and this is the only time you'll ever hear me refer to Catwoman as a villain, because she was a pure villain in this, was from the Batman TV show, the 1960s version. And I'm going to say specifically Julie Newmar, because she was iconic. She was iconic to the point they named a movie. They put her name in the title of a movie. That's how iconic her Catwoman was.
She didn't play in the actual movie. They did.
No,
I thought it was Lee Merriweather.
No, actually, the movie that actually has her name is Tu Wong Fu with Love, Julie Newmar. And she was in that movie at the tail end, which for me was a total, squee moment. But they refer over and over again how she's so statuesque. She was, yeah, she was. She was a beautiful Catwoman. She was by far my favorite. She was the one that made me fall in love with the whole DC universe.
Yeah. Okay.
But
So you like her better than Michelle Pfeiffer?
A little bit, yeah. She was the first. She was the first love Catwoman. Michelle Pfeiffer won me over, but yes.
I can't even remember. That was so long ago. So
I remember all three. It was her, Lee Merriweather, and Eartha Kitt.
Yep.
3 different Batwomen.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't care for the Eartha Kitt Batwoman. She just didn't pull it off.
Me neither. That whole purring thing drove me nuts.
Perfectly.
See, when you do it, it's not so bad. But yeah, it drove me nuts when it was Eartha Kitt.
Okay, I'm up next. This is probably gonna be controversial. Well, okay.
Yeah, I'm sure because I'm gonna start shaking my head on your pick.
Yeah,
So,
shake it.
let me turn the camera on.
I agree with Maz. My number 5. I thought the Riddler off of Gotham was awesome. The way they did him, especially he's starting off as a good guy, as like a science tech, science geek helping the GCPD, and then eventually his darker side grew. And the first time he killed somebody, that kind of freed him, and he just became the Riddler, uber intelligent.
I like the
Kind of
way
like,
they did him.
yeah.
I did.
And I also like the fact that his bad side would talk to him in the mirror, kind of like how Green Goblin did in Spider-Man movies.
There was a very Jekyll and Hyde aspect to that character. I liked that.
He tried to do what was right, but then the Hyde side of his character would always get the best of him, and he'd do stuff. And then when he met Penguin, they were kind of like brothers. And on the same chaos landscape, so crazy, kind of like Jesse James, I guess his brother. They were just like they didn't care, take over Gotham, do it their way, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Also, I like the Penguin on Gotham as well. I can't remember the actor's name, but where he came up from, like Terrence said earlier, being a little punk, working under Fish Mooney, working under Falcone, then eventually building his own empire and doing stuff. And they killed his mom. That kind of really set him off. And he was on this mission to kill. I think it was Butch that killed his mom, if I'm not mistaken. And I think at one point that he cut off.
Yeah, that one bitch Tabitha was there too.
That was the one. That was the one who killed her.
Mhm.
I was trying to remember her name. I was drawing a blank on her.
I think didn't he cut off one of their hands?
Yes. That was that whole jigsaw moment that I was talking about.
Yeah.
Had her
His
hand
mom-
on the guillotine.
Yeah, his mom was the only person he really loved. Then he kind of had a feelings for Riddler. I didn't like that arc in the story, but Riddler quickly got him off of that crap.
Yeah.
Right.
My number 3 is going to be the Joker, Jack Nicholson. I think Jack Nicholson is an awesome actor. For one time in history, he used to be my favorite actor, but now that goes to Mr. Washington. But Jack Nicholson, huh?
That's
Yeah.
Washington's good.
But at one
So
time it was Jack Nicholson was my favorite.
he's still on your list, right? So
I didn't say he went number 1.
yeah, I know, but you shook my head because I put him number 1. You have him number 3. That's not too bad, right?
That's not too bad.
Just
know,
wait
like,
for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
It's not like you put him number 5 and then
Yeah, different opinions. Just because I'm shaking my head, you like who you like, because I'm gonna like who
Wait
I
for
like.
his number one. Wait for his number one.
Oh, that is. I don't know why. It ain't even no surprise.
Mhm.
Number 2 is gonna be Bane. Terrence loved when Bane kicked Batman ass. I was cringing and damn near crying.
But there's some poetic justice about that.
No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I was mad.
So you didn't like the scene when Batman thought he was cute hiding in the dark and Bane snatched his ass out of the shadows? You didn't like that?
Batman always come out on top. I didn't want him to see him broke like that. Like, what the hell? Somebody wrote this wrong.
Well, he actually does come back on top, and it means more at the end when he does it.
Well, yeah, because it matches the title. When they told him that you got to rise and you got to embrace the fear. Now, when that character said that, I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? But then when he articulated, I'm like,
I know what y'all
makes
saying,
sense.
and I know what he was trying to go for. I'm just saying it was kind of cringeworthy when I was actually seeing it for the first time. I was like, what the fuck? He broke his back.
You know, I didn't like Bane.
Oh, I like when he was talking to that boy. Dog, that's it, your ally. You know, I said, oh, this motherfucker here about to do something.
I didn't like him, man. I didn't like his voice. I'm used to like this big, badass Bane, and he's just
Man, he was big.
It wasn't that
He
big though.
he was bigger than Christian Bale. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Which he should be. But I want that. Like
Well, you might
like what
want to
they
see
did
the
with
Bane.
Juggernaut.
You might want to see the Bane that's in Gotham, because he was big, and he had the actual face thing on like Bane.
Which one?
What?
The one in Gotham.
Gotham. Yeah,
Oh.
but Christopher Nolan said that like the reason why he didn't give him the venom and make him bigger is because that's not practical to the real world.
For what he was trying to do. Exactly. I understand that. But like for me, I wanted to see that, huge big Bane. So
I know what you're saying. And of course, our number one is gonna always be my number one is Heath Ledger. He to me is the best Joker. I'm not saying Jack is bad. I'm just saying that if you like coffee, and I like the cold coffee better. So I'm just saying we both like coffee, but you like yours.
Listen,
like
Danny, I respect your opinion, even
too.
though it's absolutely wrong.
Yeah,
I respect it.
That's fine. That's fine.
No. That's a great choice.
The better actor overall and body of work, of course, Jack Nicholson. I'm not even going to debate.
Well, that's not fair because Heath Ledger died soon after. So,
but he made a lot of movies also as well.
Yeah, but not nearly as
he in the other movies he was in, he was just okay. But in that one, I think he made it a point to prove to people that he was a good actor.
Yeah, he shined.
When I first heard, I was like, Heath Ledger? Is he the guy that played the Night Tale? I said, I don't think he can cut it. But shit.
I was like, Brokeback Mountain?
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't me. So I'm always gonna think Heath is the best. I'm sorry that he wasn't able to reprise the role, that he died before he could do it.
Yeah, he was supposed to be in the third one.
I would love to see him go even deeper into the Joker because that Joker was scary. When he broke stuff down, and like you said earlier, who the hell gonna put a knife at Michael Jai White looking like that and kind of punked him out? I was like, what the hell? This don't even look right. This script gotta be wrong.
Danny, imagine Heath Ledger's Joker interacting with Bane. I think the conversation alone would have made me buy the ticket. Like that's all I need to see. Them two talking to each other.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. I would have loved to see him reprise his role. He was good. And for me, it's only because of him why I like Dark Knight. It's the only reason why I like it.
What?
That's how it is for most humans,
Dark
honestly.
Knight.
Heath Ledger or who?
Heath Ledger. That's the only reason why I like that movie.
Man, I like the guy they got for Two-Face, but like I said, I hate the fact that he's around for 5 minutes, and it's like, you're taking one of the best Batman villains and throwing him away.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
He wasn't a throwaway because he served a purpose.
Yes, he does. But here's the thing.
But he could have been a main villain.
But there's the thing. They had the perfect look and the perfect guy to play him, and they threw away the chance to expand on that character.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see. I mean, he did kill a handful of people in less than 30 minutes, and also he was about to murder Jim Gordon's family. I would say he did a lot for the short time.
First, when that fool strap himself in and flip the coin, the driver, I said, man, what the hell wrong with you?
No, he did do a lot, right? He did do a lot. But my point, and I think what Chris is saying, is I think it would have been better if he was the main villain in like his own movie. You know what I mean? Like Batman going up against Two-Face completely. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that's what I think. So.
If I was Tommy Lee Jones after seeing that, I'd have said like, man, I fucked that up.
If you're going to use him as a main villain, I would say you need to use him and then Penguin in the same movie because they kind of play off of each other. You could do that, like a half and half sort of a thing.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
In this new Batman movie that's starring Robert Pattinson, they need to really consider using the Joker and the Penguin off of Gotham. They would kill it.
Well, I think they've already
not the Joker, but I mean the Penguin and the Riddler.
Did they already cast it? Because I know they've got this. I think I've read that they have 6 characters.
We know about Catwoman. We know about Penguin. We know about Riddler. But it's like, I don't know. It seemed like the other ones are up in the air, and then there's rumors. Because I think once we get to August, when they have the whole DC online event, because they're going to talk about that movie, that's when we will get our answers.
Yeah. Okay. Well, lady and gentlemen, this was an awesome stream. I really enjoyed it. All your lists were fantastic. You know, I was shaking my head. I respect all the lists. Sometimes I just do that to kind of get a response. But all the lists, I really and truly don't have a problem with. Before we get off, we're going to go around the room and everybody shout out their channel and where they're going to be at and any upcoming events and streams they're going to do. It will be your opportunity. So I'm going to start off first with the lovely Maz Mama Bear. First of
Hey
all, I want to
guys,
ask Maz, did you get your computer in?
I am still waiting for it. It is still stuck at the depot.
Damn.
Yeah, seriously, Anzo, I'm ready to go storm the place. Because it's a bus ride away. That's the irritating part.
Oh, yeah. So you can't go pick it up?
No, it's a Canada Post Depot.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
You send them a candle.
I'm not sending a candle. I don't even know. Wouldn't even know how to start with that concept.
We'll continue this on Thursday.
Uh-huh. Anyway, hey guys, Mads Mama Bear here. You can find me at Mads Mama Bear on YouTube, Twitter, and Mads Mama Bear 2 on Instagram. As you guys have probably guessed or have caught on by now, I am a bit on temporary hiatus from actually posting videos, but you can still find me here on Monday nights and on the Queen's Council. And to know who's going to be hosting the Queen's Council, you have to follow me on Twitter. So then that is every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, tune in if you can.
All right. Okay, Chris Knight, where can they find you at, good sir?
You can find me here on Mondays. On Sundays, you can find me over on my channel, The Real Review 3000 with The Rule of Three. And I think starting next Tuesday, Anzo's going to take over the Chaos List. We're still trying to figure out that. But tomorrow night, you can find us over on my channel doing the Chaos List. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, sometimes at the subway station on 5th and Central in New York, if I can make it there. It just depends. On everybody else's stream, I say I'm a stream whore, slightly more than the $3 hooker, like 301. So I call myself a stream whore. And also, I have a Patreon now. So patreon.com/TRR3K. If anybody wants to go over there and become a Patreon, we'd greatly appreciate it. But thank you for having me as usual, Danny.
Not a problem. Mr. Terrence, tell people they can find you at, good sir.
Oh, yep. What's going on, humans? Terrence here. Yeah, you can find me with Danny on Mondays. Our show Equilibrium on Sunday. Myself, Danny, Anzo, John. And you can also find me on my channel, Jermaine Terrence channel. And then occasionally I might be on other streams hosted by humans. I guess it just depends on if they remember me or not. You know, sometimes they forget about Terrence. But yeah, you just never know in life. You know, one day you just wake up and there I am talking about random shit. So, you know, do what you want.
Good deal. Anzo, tell the good people they can find you at, sir.
That's right. You know my channel, Bigger Ford Entertainments. You can catch me here now on Chaotic Conversation with Danny and Chris. You can catch me on Equilibrium. You can catch me on Square One. And you can catch me with Rob every now and then, right? So come check it out. You know, we're doing some good stuff right now. Great content. It's great to be here again.
And I am, last but not least, Danny Graham. This is my channel, Comment Chat, here on YouTube. This is the show, The Chaotic Conversation, where we do nice rankings like this just about every Monday. I have not come up with the next ranking we'll be doing, but I will think on it, and I'll send it out to everybody here on the panel, and we will discuss it again tomorrow night on the Chaotic List. You see me and Chris and Anzo. And you catch me again on Saturday on our show with Anzo and myself, Square One. And then again Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Rule of Three with Anzo and Chris. And last but not least, Equilibrium on Sundays from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You'll see me, Anzo, Terrence, and John on Equilibrium.
I might
Again,
jump on that sometime.
all right, we'll shoot you a link.
No problem.
Oh yeah. Yo, what's up, Fatal? I see you, brother. And also humans. You should really check out everybody's channel on this panel because with me, I don't give a fuck if you go to my shit or not.
Oh my lord, really?
And I will say you should check out his channel too, man.
Yeah, it's very funny. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Some of the stuff that goes on his head and he put onto the YouTube, I'm like, where did he think of that from? But
And I always get a chuckle, man. I always find something funny in this guy's videos.
all right, so until next time, people. This is Danny from the Chaotic Conversation. Be safe, and we will talk at y'all later.
Peace.